I bought another collection, and this was a really good one. All right, guys, I bought a collection. We are going to go through it. We're going to talk about the keys going off to CGC, and we're going to talk price. If you're new to the channel, this is what we do. I go out, I buy comic book collections, I break them down, we talk about them, we send books off to CGC, and then we unbox them. If you're into that stuff, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, and of course, leave a comment. You're going to want to comment on this one. So this collection came to me from a guy, History of the Flash, on Instagram, a good buddy of mine, JD. Big shout out to him. Give him a follow, especially if you like Flash content. He posts stuff all the time. With that, I guess we can just hop into it. First off, let me start the whole thing by saying this. There's a lot of boxes. I believe there was 35 short boxes in this collection. 90% of the books, not every book, was bagged, not bagged and boarded. The other thing I want to say is every single book in this collection, every book was read by this original owner, which is incredible. It doesn't happen too often that every single book was read. What does that mean? Well, he enjoyed his collection. It also means that every single book was handled, flipped through, and read, which means conditions vary. This collection starts in the Silver Age. There's some Silver Age books, a lot of bronze, a lot of copper. There's a window of time, though, that's missing. Early 80s to about mid 80s is missing. No Secret Wars, no ASM 252. Think of that era, 82, 83 through about 85, 86, maybe even 87. Amazing guy. Absolutely fantastic, amazing family. Everyone was so polite. His wife, his daughter, everybody from beginning to end, just wonderful, wonderful, welcoming, happy, nice people. And the seller's wife, extremely happy to get her closet back. So good for her. With that, what's going to go on here is I am going to flip through a couple boxes, go through those, and then, of course, like I said before, we are going to talk about the keys going off to CGC. I'm not going to talk about absolutely everything. We'll be here all day. This was a big collection. It was a good one. Enough chit-chat. Let's get to the boxes. All right, guys, we are heading down to another collection. We're just a little bit away, 35-ish short boxes. I know a few books in there. I don't want to tease anything. You'll see it later. We're probably going to stop somewhere to eat on the way back home. And we'll see how it is. 32 degrees. It's nice t-shirt weather after some of the last collection videos. But all right, I'll keep you posted. All right, guys, so here we go. Here's a glimpse in the house of all the boxes I went through. It was a lot. It took a long time. Not everything, almost everything, again, is bagged. You see little pockets like that aren't bagged. But 90%, and every book read. It's a great collection to go through. We are going to break it down again and, of course, talk price. All right, guys, here it is. 10, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 20, 30, 2, 4, 6, 38 short boxes, one long box, and a couple of totes here. All right, guys, so I started breaking this collection down, and I completely forgot. I haven't flipped through anything. So I did find, a Wolverine miniseries. I did find Wolverine 1s, a couple of those, Wolverine 8, some 50s. Here's a Ghost Rider Wolverine. We've got a Wolverine and Havoc mini-series. Decent stuff, but I grabbed the Fantastic Four box, and right off the top, look at this little number. Now, you guys with the keen eye can see we've got ink on it. It is signed by Stan Lee. Don't get too excited, though. This is signed by Stan Lee, but this is not the Fantastic Four #1. This is actually the Golden Record reprint. And fun story about this book, the owner was telling me, is Stan Lee did not want to sign it, and he certainly didn't want to sign it on the cover, because usually they used to sign it on that first page, especially back then. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to send this to CBCS to get this verified, which it is Stan's signature. Forgot who this was. I have to text the owner and get this verified as well. But Stan Lee's the important one. This is a great condition book. But again, it is Golden Record reprint. This is not the Fantastic Four #1. You don't see the 10-cent price point up here. Usually you see the big 10-cent thing here. But still, awesome book. We're going to keep that aside for obvious reasons. So let's flip through here. he had a nice Fantastic Four collection. We're going to put all these aside because they are 12 cents. What I like to do when I break these collections down is anything that's $5, $10 or more, it goes aside. So I'm going to take all these, and there are, some keys and minor keys in here. Nothing earth-shattering, nothing crazy. You know my saying, nothing, I'm not retiring off of any of this stuff, but still decent. Look, we got 125, 126, 127, 128. What I'll end up doing is probably bag and board and price everything up to... let's see, how far do we go? We'll probably go up through the 25-cent. We'll probably go through all these. Oh, you know how I feel about this book, guys, right? First Frankie Ray. We'll put that aside, too. Let's see, how far are we going to go? We'll probably go through the 25 cents. Once we get to 25 cents, we're going to stop here. These will all be bagged, boarded, and priced. Look, every book, everything was bagged but not boarded. At this point, I'll probably bag and board and move this as a run, which takes so much time to bag and board. I mean, so much time. I'm very lucky. My buddy Ryan helps me. I do stuff, and then pricing. Oh my God, does that take long? But we're gonna keep flipping through here. 188, 189, 190, 191, 190. Oh no, 192. But we do have 193. 194, 195, 196, 198. Nice Doom cover there. Look at that guy. 199, 200, 201, 202. I got to go through I don't know any of these bigger keys in here, off the rip. I got to go through. I do know this one, Terax. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been putting these aside and holding on to them because I think it's a book worth investing in. So I don't go out and seek those books, but I do hold on to them when I find them. So we're at 220 now, 221, 222, 224, 220, 232. So we're jumping here. 232, 233, 234. I think we're in the burn stuff now. 250. Yeah. So what I'll do here is probably stop around, let's see, 233, 221, 222, 224. I'll probably stop like right around here, 230, probably up to 250. We'll go to 251. So all this will actually be bagged and boarded, and I'll probably auction this off, whether it's on Whatnot or whether it's on a live auction. Be like, here's a nice chunk of Fantastic Four books. We'll auction off whatever it goes for. It goes for. Now we will put this and this in this, and this, and this, and this. I guess this too. And this. These will all go over here because we're going to bag and board and price that. Now, all this stuff right here, this is bulk. This is, to me, there's no real value in here. And have I missed books before? Of course I have. You'd be crazy not to. If you go through each of these collections with a fine-tooth comb, you know how many hours that would be put into these? I think this is actually a minor key, but we're just going to flip through that. I could be wrong. Ronin. So this will go in a box to be bulked out right here. So this stuff will be bagged and boarded and auctioned off as a lot, as a part of a run. This will be bulked out. This will be bagged and boarded and individually priced. And of course, the bigger stuff we put aside. So I'm going to do another box. Let's do another box. All right, so we're back. And again, remember, this is the stuff I kind of put aside. This is a spec book I hang on to. This is also the spec book. So we got Terax, Frankie Ray. That goes aside. This goes aside because it's going to CBCS. All right, so that goes aside. This goes aside because it's collectively well over $100, right? So this collectively is over $100. So that goes aside. Everything in this box is $5 or more. And now we're going to break this one down. And of course, guys, by the end of this video, I will show you all the bigger stuff that came out of this collection, stuff that's going to CGC and whatnot. So let me grab a chunk out of here. So we have a Hulk run here, 328, 329, 330. This is the first McFarlane on Hulk. We'll put that aside. 331, 332. With these nice long runs, as good as they are, it's difficult to move them. So, I like to just bag them, board them, and if I have a nice long run like this, we're just going to auction it off and see what happens. If it goes for $50, great. If it goes to 100, great. Goes for 10, it's fine. Whatever. 339. All right, 339 there. You guys know what's next. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, yes. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got here? Let me pull a chunk out here. There she is. 340. Great book. Not one copy. Not two copies. but 3 copies, and then more McFarlane. So these guys, of course, are going to be put aside. I'm going to have to look at them a lot closer, see if they're worth going out to CGC, and if they are, that'll cost another $40 a piece almost, because I do fast track everything. Why do I have to? Absolutely not. Another nice book, all McFarlane stuff. Why do I fast track? People ask me all the time. I fast track usually, well, I am impatient, but more importantly is I'm kind of on a timeline. You got to realize, guys, I got to get these books back. Again, all $5 or more goes over here. I need these books back for certain conventions, so I can't wait. You know, personal collection, sure, I can let it sit at CGC. That's fine. You know, whatever. But when it's, you know, in a time crunch, I got to get these things moved. Oh, look, more Oddball Fantastic Four. We'll put that aside too. 350. You know, I got to get these books back, you know, while there's some value to them. So I don't mind investing a little bit more to rush these books back. So 354. We've got a run here. 355. 356. And what you're seeing is literally what I do with every collection. And you see why it takes so long, because you know how much a lot of bagging and boarding, a lot. So I'm just going to try to do this quickly, because I'm just to pull out anything big, and then I'll go through. Let's see. Well, you know, when you look at collections this big too, you kind of forget what you looked at. You know, you made your offer, everything's good, you move on. And then when you get to it to break it down, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. You know, there's always like a half a dozen or a dozen books that surprise you. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, forgot about that. So those Hulk 340s, I forgot about those until I picked this box up and I was like, oh yeah. All right, here we go. First Professor Hulk. Unfortunately, these are all first print. You know, still like I think a $20, $30 book. These are nice high grade. It's the 3rd print. These are all first print. It's the 3rd print you guys want. But these are still nice. They'll go over here to be bagged, boarded, and priced. So what do you think? You think we'll get lucky and get all the way to the Thunderbolts? I don't remember seeing a Thunderbolt book, but I also looked at a lot of books. So let's see. Again, you know what's going to happen with this nice big Hulk run? Bagged, boarded, and we'll auction it off, and we'll see what happens. So for you guys that enjoy the live auctions, expect to see this sometime in the next year or two. Got one down there. Look at this. We don't need all those copies, but let's see. And if you guys can fast forward if you're not into this, a bunch of 400s. We're at 401 now, 402. Now nothing's bagged and boarded. So I'm going to, just go through here quickly. I think, you know, this is probably, if the Thunderbolts are in here, it's probably why I didn't see it, because I'm like, I don't want to flip through all this unbagged and boarded. Oh, I think this is first Terrax. Not Terrax. First cameo of, yeah. And then first full appearance of Talos. We remember him from Captain Marvel. Hulk. I mean, this is a nice, if you're into Hulk, this is a really nice run. It is pretty much complete. Obviously, you saw what I pulled out. But, like, let's see. We got the Thunderbolts in here. Did I miss it? Let me move this up forward. If you guys are bored, I'm sorry. You could always just fast forward the video. Oh, I like this book. Pulp Fiction. We pulled that. I gotta go through here with a fine-tooth comb. I'm hunched over right now. There it is. Now that's a nice book. So we'll pull this out. We'll put this aside. Not high grade at all, but still totally worthy of being pulled out. All this is just whatever at this point. And I'm sure I'm missing keys and minor keys, guys. It happens all the time. Nobody's perfect. You can't know everything. This I don't care about. That's not even a Hulk book. That'll be bulked out. Annuals. Oh, I like these. Those are good. First, Maestro. All right, that's it. You know, at this point, I'm just going to try to go through this collection, pull out the bigger stuff, and we'll talk about it next. All right, so that's that. Let's go through the keys. You saw a bunch of stuff. You saw some good stuff, some not so good stuff, some great stuff, some not so great stuff, everything in between. But we are going to break down, again, every book I'm about to list. Every single book I'm about to list will be going to CGC. So with every book, you should hear that cha-ching, more expense, more money going out the door. as well as every book that needs to be bagged and boarded. Like I said before, every book was bagged, but that doesn't do us any good when the bags are from the 80s and there's no board. So every single book that's going to be moved, that's not in bulk, has to be bagged and boarded. Quite a job, quite time consuming, and it does add up. But with that being said, let's get into this list. The first book I wanted to talk about is a modern book that's going up. This is Iron Man 282. This is the first appearance of War Machine, not the first appearance of Rhodey, but the first appearance of War Machine. I'm hoping to get a 9.4 plus on this book. I'm not sure if it's going to hit. I'm not sure. And I don't know if I mentioned this before. What's cool, even though all these books were read, you can see as time goes on that the owner took better and better care of his books as he got older, which is really cool to see. You can actually literally see a timeline of, all right, I'm a kid, I'm reading these books, they're a little beat up, a little bit older, a little bit older, a little bit older, and eventually the real modern stuff was in like really good condition. I'm talking like late 80s into the early 90s, like example, this book. Next up, another book in pretty high grade. Now, nothing's going to hit. I'd be shocked if anything on this list hits 9.8, but books like this, you hit a 9.2, it's still worth a couple $100. This is New Mutants 98. This is the first appearance of Deadpool. I feel like this book in every 90s collection is going to exist. It's going to pop up. There's another one on this list too. Every 90s collection seems to pop up. We're changing gears now, going from superhero to Star Wars. This is Star Wars number 42, first appearance of Boba Fett. Book looks great, but there's a fingerprint on the spine, like right on the white part on the left side near the spine. It's like, ooh, this is going to get hit. This is going to get hit bad, but still worth sending out to CGC. We'll see what happens with it. Swinging back now to Marvel superhero stuff. Iron Fist 14, first appearance of Sabretooth. This is a book starting to climb. Again, maybe an 8.5. We'll see. We'll see how Erod does. Not only do the bags and boards cost money, not only do the CGC cost money, the grading fees, but the cleaning and pressing. I don't have time to clean and press all this stuff. I'll do maybe a few of them, but the majority is going out to my man Erod. Next up, remember I talked Silver Age? Well, here we go. Weird, because this is the second one of these I picked up in like the last 3 collections. This is Avengers 48, First Black Knight. Totally random too in there. It's not like there was a whole bunch of Silver Age Avengers, but this one happened to be in there. Weird. Going further here, where's my list? Oh, let's swing over to Amazing Spider-Man. Let's start out with 194, first appearance of Black Cat. Very difficult book to get in high grade, and this one isn't. That black cover, every little tick shows in this one. Going down a little bit more here, how about Amazing Spider-Man 238, First Hobgoblin? We talk about this book all the time. You got to check for the tattoos in the back, and this one does have them. Amazing Spider-Man 300. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you what this is at this point if you've been watching the channel for a while, but we may have a new viewer. So this is the first appearance of Venom. Let's stick with Spidey, but let's get to the Bronze Age. Let's go with Amazing Spider-Man 122. This is the death of Green Goblin. This is going off to CGC, as well as Amazing Spider-Man 121. This is the death of Gwen Stacy. Great books to sell in a pair. If you're a Spidey fan, chances are this is on your list of stuff to pick up, 121 and 122. Let's change gears now. X-Men. Let's go to the X-Men stuff here. X-Men 129, First Hellfire Club. This book has been... this book hops up and down right now. It's hot. This is a hot book. I remember I was talking about 90s collections. This is one of the books I always like to see. X-Men 266, first appearance of Gambit. Great book. This is high grade. 9.8, probably not. X-Men, going back in time now, 101, first appearance of Phoenix. Nice book. And X-Men 94. This is the first new team in the title. Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, all them. Now, next book is like a 4.0. Right? Not a super high grade, barely a mid-grade book, but it is the first time I've ever found this in the wild. This is cross it off the list. Iron Man 55. This is the first Blood Brothers, the first appearance of Drax, and most importantly, the first appearance of Thanos. First time I've ever found this in the wild. I was so excited to see it. I didn't care about the condition. Now, with that being said, the last major bronze book that I've never found in the wild, House of Secrets 92, First Swamp Thing. Never found it in the wild. Crazy, because I have found massive runs of House of Secrets, but no Swamp Thing. So I was excited to see that, even though it wasn't the highest grade book. Let's go to Hulk now. I know what you're thinking. Hulk 182. This is the second Wolverine cameo, significantly cheaper than the next book, which is Incredible Hulk 180. This is the first Wolverine cameo. Now we're going to switch over. We're going to talk about 3 big bronze Marvel books. The big 3, the Trinity as I call them, the biggest 3 Bronze Age Marvel books. There's Tier 1, and then there's like Tier 1A. This is Tier 1. This is the one right here. This is Giant Size X-Men number 1. This is not the highest grade book either, because remember, guys, I said he liked to read his books, and in the mid-70s, he was a little younger. And a square-bound white cover book, it's hard to keep that in high grade. That's the first of the Trinity. The second, Amazing Spider-Man 129, first appearance of the Punisher. Again, this falls under that same umbrella. He read it a lot. The bottom of this book is worn. Hopefully we can get a mid-grade 5.0 on this, but I don't know. The next part of the Trinity is Incredible Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. It's amazing. I'll go 8 months without seeing one, and now the last 2 of the last 3 collections, or 3 of the last 4, something like that, I've got another one here. This one looks good. I'm excited, but this thing is going to cost quite a couple dollars to get graded. Now, the last book we're going to talk about, one last book, and there's a fun story with this one. The owner met Stan Lee at a convention. He asked Stan Lee to sign this book on the cover, which was a no-no back in the day. Stan didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. So what happened was another artist or writer signed it, and I can't for the life of me remember who it was, but he signed it, and then I believe Stan Lee, after that, signs the cover in pen. This book is Fantastic Four number 1. It's not the Fantastic Four number 1. This is the Golden Record reprint. You can tell because it doesn't have the little 10-cent price on it. Still, really cool book. It's signed by Stan. This has got to go to CBCS to be verified signature. It will come back verified because this is a Stan Lee signature, but that's going to cost us quite a few dollars to get graded as well. So that is the entire list of books going out to CGC. I estimated $2,000 between bags, boards, CGC fees, shipping, insurance, and all that mess. So I had to calculate that into the purchase price. And what did I pay for this collection? Give you the 5 seconds, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What did I pay? Let's see how accurate you guys are. $8,000 for this collection. I estimated about a $10,000 total investment, hoping to double. I know you're thinking like, whoa, these books add up more than that. The conditions say differently. Again, every book in this collection was read, which is awesome. It's really cool to see. Original owner. Most of the books were original owner. I think some were picked up after the fact, but good amount original owner, and every book was read, some more than once. And you could tell with the Giant Size, you could tell with the 129, you could tell these books were loved, these books were read, got plenty of use out of them, and now his wife has a closet. So that's great news. But that's it for this. These CGC submissions, there's going to be multiples. We're going to have a quick turnaround on the 181, but some of this other stuff may take some time. There's some moderns in here. There's some, it was value tier. What is it? Standard tier now. This is probably about 3 different CGC maybe 4 different CGC submissions. We'll have to see. I'm going to take the other Avengers 48. I'm going to take the other, what is it? I have a Hulk 180 or a 182 or something. I'm going to throw that into here too because I was waiting to get enough to make a big submission to CGC in that tier. I didn't want to just send 2 books. So that is this collection. This was a good one for the month of February. I believe now that's 2 for the month of February, so keep an eye out for the February recap video for the collections. That should be coming out soon. I know it's March, guys, but again, these collections take a long time to purchase, right? You know, you buy them, you bring them home, you have to break them down, pull out the keys, you have to bag and board. And I guess that didn't have to get done quite yet, but I wanted to get ready for King Con, which is a big, big deal, guys. King Con right around the corner. Hopefully this video comes out by the time King Con does. And a lot of these books also are going to be on Whatnot. Give me a follow, VERYGARY_comics. You know how we do it. The Whatnot auctions. Download the app. Link down below. Get you $10 off your first purchase. So that's it with this one. Fantastic collection. A lot of fun, a lot of work, and a lot more money going into it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Keep an eye out for that February collections recap. And as always, keep it comics.